Hello, my name is Emily Crow from The Cozy Crow and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing another episode of the Crochet and Knitting Podcast. This is episode 61 and I've got one finished object which I am currently wearing. We'll talk about that in a minute. And quite a handful of whips that I've been slowly but surely working on, and I'm really excited to share with you what I have coming up for the month of February. Like I said, I have a finished object. I have been working nonstop, like probably for 2 weeks straight. This is all I knit on because I really needed to hit my testing deadline for this designer. When I make a commitment to test, I really want to fulfill that commitment. And so I really prioritized working on this. And honestly, I did not knit anything else for most of the month of January because I was so focused on getting this test knit done, but I got it done in time and this pattern has now been released. So if you really like it, then you can purchase a copy of the pattern yourself. This is the Stella sweater by Devin King, and you'll see it's got a nice loose baggy fit. I am wearing a tank top underneath, so you can see the slits. Very, very high side slits. So it really needs to have something underneath stylistically, or else you're going to be showing a lot of skin. Again, it goes up to like my raw. It's a really nice, loose, oversized fit. It's very drapey at this gauge. I knit the size 2, so the bust size, it's hard because I haven't measured my bust since I have given birth and now I'm breastfeeding, so I know my bust is fluctuating a lot right now, but my pre-pregnancy bust size was around 36 to 37 inches. I picked the 46-inch size, which is size 2, because I didn't want huge oversized fit. I think this still looks really nice. Of course, my bust size will go down once I'm not breastfeeding anymore, and so it might be a little bit too big on me then. I really don't know because it just depends on how it looks, but I think it fits really flatteringly right now. And it's so comfy. Some other design elements, besides having this side slit, is there's a double knit edge on both sides of the side slit. A nice long ribbing at the bottom to kind of anchor the piece. And again, just a really nice oversized fit. I used an unnamed yarn from Lovejoy Fibers, just a colorway that I don't know if she discontinued or it was like a one-off or whatever, but let me see if I can find the yarn to show you what it looks like when it's not paired in this sweater. So this is what the yarn looks like all by itself. Again, it's unnamed by Lovejoy Fibers, who is a local to me dyer. And I held it with Gepard Kid Seda, which is a mohair in the color raspberry, I think is what it's called, to get this combo, which I really love. I love how this color looks on me. It's a little bit more of a punchy color than I'm used to wearing, and I do think it suits me and it makes me really happy to wear it. I will say, this sweater was designed with the intent to fit a variety of body shapes and sizes. With this loose fit and the side slits, it's really good for breastfeeding. It's good for a pregnant body as the belly is fluctuating in size. It's really good for someone who has wider hips, so wants the side slits, and it's just flattering in general on multiple body types, even if you're not nursing or pregnant. But with the mohair, this is not the best sweater to wear when I'm nursing because the little mohair fibers just get everywhere. So if I were to knit this again, and if I were to recommend this to you, don't hold yarns together with a mohair in order to get this gauge. Find a DK or worsted weight yarn or whatever gauge you need to get gauge for this sweater without adding mohair or anything that has like the fluffy fibers, because I'm just finding them everywhere. I'm finding them on my body, I'm finding them on my baby, and it's just a big pain to make sure that they don't go in his mouth or in his nose or whatever. So not ideal for baby wearing, but I feel super cute and I can definitely see myself wearing this for a date night. And this fit is really flattering, which is something I appreciate right now with being postpartum, and my body is kind of in this weird space where I don't fit into maternity clothes well, but I don't fit into my pre-pregnancy clothes either. So it's kind of hard to find things that fit and make me feel good. So this one is a winner. Like I said, this pattern has now been released, so if you're interested in knitting this sweater yourself, it is size inclusive up to like a 60-inch bust, I think, then you can check out the link down below. This is my only finished object, so let's jump into my whips. A couple things you haven't seen yet before. But first, we'll start with something that you have seen, and I'm really, really happy with how far I've gotten on this because the color work on this sock was taking forever, and I was honestly hating it because it was 3-color color work. It was tedious. My yarns kept getting tangled, and I had to undo a couple rounds, not very many, just because the sock was just getting too tight to go over the heel. But I have finished the color work on my Cup of Cocoa socks by Charlotte Stone. This pair of socks is gonna be for my brother's girlfriend, and I'm really excited to knit these for her. I picked out this yarn and this pattern specifically because I felt like she would really like it. They are kind of holiday-ish. I didn't get these done in December. I didn't get these done in January. They'll get done eventually, and I'm sure she will love them whenever she gets them. They were intended to be a Christmas gift for her, and that did not happen. But I am now through the color work and can just work on the Vanilla Plus part of the sock where there's a little bit of texture, a broken rib, and it should be smooth sailing from here, which I'm really excited about. These have not been my priority project, but now they can be a pretty mindless project in the car or in a waiting room, and that's really what I needed to do, is get them past this color work and to that point where I can not fiddle with them so much and just have some smoother sailing in my knitting. All of these color work colors are just scraps pulled from my stash, but this main color is called Christmas Cocoa by Woolberry Fiber Co. Here's another look at that Christmas Cocoa. A really pretty yarn. I'm excited to see it work up in this sock. So because I kind of missed the deadline for those socks, I'm not really stressing about getting them done in any reasonable amount of time. I'm just working on them when I feel like it, honestly. I would love to get those done this month just so that they're off the needles because I am participating in Finish It February, but we'll get to that later. I've got my newborn here in his car seat. I'm rocking it because we don't have any kind of like bouncer or anything for him, but he seems to really like that. So that's what I've been doing to keep him calm while I film. So if you hear little grunts and coos and whatnot, that is him. The next pattern I have to share with you is almost a finished object, but not quite. So this is also a test knit. These are the Stick Together socks by Jessica Antonio Notoriani. This sock features this really cool, it's called a dandelion stitch. It's kind of like a dip stitch type of texture just running along the edge of the sock. This is the right sock, and the left sock will have this feature on the other side so that the socks aren't mirrored. So it's really nice, a pretty simple sock pattern once you get the hang of the special stitch. Super, super cute. I used Patton's Croy sock yarn in the color Brown Rose Marl, which I got from Joann's in their final sales. Rest in peace, Joann. And I really, really like how this color worked up. I had no idea how it would work up based on the yarn. Just like seeing the yarn, I didn't know how thick the stripes would be or anything. I really like that it's got these thick stripes, and then in between there's 2 teeny tiny stripes of other colors. So it's got dark brown and then a tiny light brown stripe, a tiny pink stripe, and then red. So it's a really interesting and a fun yarn to see work up. I have one sock completely done. You'll notice I have my sock blockers back. And then on the second sock, I have started on the heel flap. So we are well on our way to finishing that pair by the end of the month, which will be really, really nice. The test has now been completed. When this video comes out, I think the pattern has been released, so I'll make sure to link it down below if you're interested in purchasing that pattern. The gauge is a little different than I am used to for socks, and that's why I chose the Patton's Croy sock yarn, because that yarn is a little bit thicker than a traditional fingering weight yarn, and this gauge is a little bit different than I am used to. It's like 30 stitches per 4 inches, something like that. So yeah, a little bit different than I typically knit with my gauge. So these socks are a little bit thicker, comfier, cozier, but they're still technically in the fingering weight realm, if that makes sense. Another accessory that you have not seen yet, but you should see in a video coming up really soon. This is featured from the October book box from Yarnaceous Fibers that was about the book Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. And I am really close to finishing. I love accessories that work up really, really quick. This is a hat. I'm knitting the adult small size in the basic Doodle Beanie 2. Ta-da! My daughter has already claimed this hat. I'm glad that she really, really likes it. These colors are super, super fun. Let's see. This pink is called Sera Swan. The orange is called Clemmie. And the green is called Guild's Greenhouse. So I've finished 2 out of the 3 colorwork charts that I was planning on doing. I'll have to measure when I finish that 3rd colorwork chart just to see if I'm ready to start the crown. I'm pretty sure I will be because I don't want to make a slouchy beanie anyway, and my daughter's gonna wear it and she's 5. So I think I'm getting pretty close to doing the decreases. These are supposed to be foxes. I'm going to duplicate stitch with some black yarn to do the little tips of the ears and little eyes and nose dots, but I think this is pretty cute. I will say that the orange and the pink don't have great contrast, but I only had a mini of the green, whereas I had 50 gram skeins of the orange and the pink, and so I really had to use up a lot more orange and pink. It's got kind of a fun, more subtle, lower contrast look, and it's really just some fun geometric, like sparkly designs, so I didn't think it needed to be super high contrast. For this 3rd doodle, I'm going to be much more mindful about the contrast because it's going to be like a cauldron with some potion bubbling over, so I'm really excited about that. I will talk more about this pattern, about the book box in general in that vlog that is coming soon, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. This is bringing me a lot of joy, and I'm excited that I'm going to have another finished object pretty soon, probably by this weekend. I did do a fold over brim, and in the pattern, in the box, it recommended doing a couple different colors in the brim, and so I decided to play around with that. I didn't follow the exact instructions in the pattern. I started with a cast on in green. I did 5 rows of pink and then 14 rows of orange if I remember, and then another 5 rows of pink and then 1 row of green before I knit the brim together to do the fold over brim. So that's the only interesting thing I did, and then I just plugged in a couple doodles that I thought were appropriate for this book. Sir, you keep dropping your binky, what the heck? My final work in progress that I've had the chance to work on in January in my, what is this called? Life of a Dough Girl bag by Goose and Ghost Knits. Again, I have a ton of bags by Goose and Ghost Knits. I love that she hand designs all of these fabrics and then she gets them printed out and then she sews them, which is super, super cute. There's all sorts of fun Taylor Swift puns on here related to bread. But this pattern is one I have not shown before. This is the Choo Choo mini set by Lolita Doobie. It's a little hard to see because I'm just starting out, but this is the waistband. Super, super cute set. Now, the reason I'm knitting this, I did not have this on my radar, was because I realized that I don't have a blessing or like a christening outfit for my son. And my daughter has one. She has this beautiful gown that my grandma sewed for her. I don't want to put him in this gown. So I was trying to find a different kind of blessing outfit for him because he'll probably be blessed right at the end of this month or very beginning of next month. And so I was running out of time. I did not like any of the options I saw. There are really not a lot of cute options for boys. And so I thought I would knit something. And so I bought like a stand-in outfit, just something from H&M that's like a sweater set, 2-piece, white, whatever, that can work if I don't finish this in time, but my goal is to finish this. I'm starting with the pants, so I can have some cute design. There's gonna be cables on either side of the pants, but right now I'm working on the waistband. It'll be a fold-over waistband, and I'm gonna have to find some elastic. I know I have elastic somewhere. I think it's in my sewing box that I can put in this waistband. But I think this is gonna work up pretty quickly. I'm using Cascade Yarns Elysian in the color white. It's an acrylic and wool blend. I really like this stitch definition. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how the cables work up in this. I need to work more on this. Unfortunately, I haven't worked on my mountain romper suit because I have been working on test knits, and then I realized that I need to make a blessing outfit so that my son can have something handmade and sentimental and potentially an heirloom piece, because it just doesn't feel fair that my daughter has something like that I can give to her if I don't have something for my son. So I wanted to make him something. So I'm really trying to prioritize this. I just cast this on, so I'm really excited to see how fast it works up. I don't think it'll take too long. My goal with purchasing this yarn in particular is that I wanted something that could easily go in the washer and dryer if it got poop, spit up, pee, etc. all over it, because it just seems like anytime you put a baby in a white outfit that something horrible happens. So I wanted this to be easy to clean. I think that this yarn is gonna do great. I did throw the swatch in the washer and dryer and it looks great after that. So I am hopeful that this is gonna be everything that I want out of this blessing outfit for my son, and it needs to be done this month. so that I can have it ready to go for our actual blessing at church in a few weeks. So it can actually be ready for our blessing at church. So wish me luck that I make some good progress on that. But now that I finished this test knit, I'm almost done with this sock test knit, and I finished the test knit because I finished one sock in time, but I would love to finish the other sock in a reasonable amount of time too. Then I can really focus on this piece. I'm gonna make it in the 6-month size because he's only 6 weeks old, but my son is already starting to outgrow 3-month size clothing, especially in length. So like sleepers and onesies. Because he's got a really long torso like I do, and he's just tall in general. And so I'm sizing up because definitely by the end of this month, he will be exclusively in 3 to 6 month size clothing. Just a couple of yarn goodies. This is gonna be a pretty short podcast, which is nice and refreshing for me because I have to film it and edit it around a newborn. And hopefully you like having a little bit shorter of a video to watch too. I think that's always nice. We'll start with the only yarn that has come into my possession that I haven't showed you yet. And this is from Yarnaceous Fibers Classic Literature Club. I ordered the sock set so that I could have the variegated as the main skein and then the tonal option as the mini. And this is The Great Gatsby with Daisy as the mini. And it's based off of, we got this little card. So cute. And then it came with a little stitch marker. It's really cute. Really cute. That says The Great Gatsby, and it's a little book. I did her yarn club inspired by books last year. It was the Swift Reads Club. It's hanging out up there. I'm gonna make a blanket with it. And so all of those skeins were inspired by books that had Taylor Swift related titles. And this one, classic literature, I have had a goal in the past, last year and this year as well, to read more classics. And so this is going to be a great excuse for me to read books that I haven't read before or reread books that I have, but it's been a while. I actually read The Great Gatsby last year, so I don't really feel the need to read it again, but I did enjoy it. I really liked F. Scott Fitzgerald's writing style. It was just a really entertaining book to read. So this is January. I don't know what I'll make with it. Probably a blanket because that's what I'm doing with last year's club. And I just can't say no to book-inspired yarn because those are like my two loves. I also got a book in the mail that I'm really excited about, and this is The Sock Obsession by Summer Lee. I have her first book up there on my shelves, and this is her second book on different sock patterns, how to knit socks. It is not sequential. So if you don't have her first book, you can still get this book. You can still learn what you need to about knitting socks. You don't need to start with the first book, if that makes sense. I looked through this and I found a lot of patterns that I actually was really intrigued by that I may knit in the near future. I actually have a vlog on my channel where I read through the first book by Summer Lee, and I knit a pattern in that book. And so if you want to see that vlog, I'll link it down below and up above for you. But let me point out a couple of the patterns I'm really intrigued by. These are the Sheep Festival socks. So cute. And I love how the sheep are facing different directions. I just think that's really fun. The lobster socks. Might knit those for my mom. She's from Maine. The Escher socks, really stunning. And I think that having that fade yarn was really a great choice by Summer. So yeah, there's color work in here. There's texture, there's cables. There's some like vanilla plus type of socks, as well as things a little bit more intricate. There's a great variety in here. So it's not only a how to knit socks book, but it's also a pattern book with, I think, 25 patterns. Yes, 25 patterns that you haven't seen before from Summer. So I'm really excited to knit something from here. If you want to see me do a vlog where I read through this book and I knit something from it, then let me know down below. But otherwise, I might just casually pick something to knit from this when I'm in the mood. Okay, the last things I have to share with you are from Goose and Ghost Knits Bookish Bag Collection. And I was thinking about getting a book sleeve. They were sold out when I was looking. So maybe in the future I would get a book sleeve from her, but I did snag this cute tote bag. It says full of yarn and books. And again, Ashley of Goose and Ghost Knits designs all of these, like transfers herself. She designs the fabric and gets that printed herself. Super cute. This is a nice size tote bag, so this will be really good to throw in my car. And then I got a small drawstring bag. I have so many small drawstring bags from her because it's just the perfect size for a sock project, a hat, a 2-skein shawl, anything like that that's like 2 skeins-ish. Super cute. It says craft more, read more, just one more chapter. Adorable. So I'll definitely link her shop on Etsy down below if you are interested in supporting her. But I just love her stuff. I go a little ham, but I love supporting a friend. All right, that's it for yarn goodies. Let's talk about life. If you have noticed on this channel, I've had a lot of videos come out recently. We're talking about my 2025 reading statistics and my 2026 reading goals. I've got a video on everything I made in 2025 for my knitting and crochet and a little felting even. I have a couple of vlogs that are in the works that I hope to have released soon. By the time this video is released, you should also see my Attack My Stash intro video where I kind of start the process of cataloging my stash and making a plan for working through my yarn stash. I'm not gonna be working as much with the newborn in tow, so my disposable income is changing, and I really want to use up a lot of this yarn, make the things I've been planning on making, and make some more space in my craft room so that my yarn is stored in a way that works a little better for me. But right now I'm a little bit bursting at the seams. So I want to work on attacking my stash this year. If you're interested in joining me, then you can definitely use the same hashtag that I'll be using over on Instagram. And I would love to hear any plans that you have for attacking your stash in the near future, because I need more ideas because I've got a lot of stash to work through. Lots of things that I have plans for, especially my garment yarn on this side, but a lot of yarns that don't necessarily have an intention behind it, like sock yarns. I knit a lot of socks, so any good patterns that you really want to recommend to me, I would love to hear down below. Like I said, I am 6 weeks postpartum. My baby is 6 weeks old. He is over 12 pounds. He is huge. He was almost 10 pounds when I had him, so not surprising that he is like probably 12.5 pounds right now, if not more than that. And we are doing well. We are adjusting. He is not really taking naps unassisted, but he seems to like his car seat. So he'll take naps in the car and on walks, and he likes to be held. He's a snuggle bug for sure, but he's eating well. He's sleeping pretty well at night. He's doing all the baby things. So we are just really grateful that he's doing well and that we are adjusting. I am sad that my husband's back at work now, but we are making do, and we're kind of getting into a good routine with my 5-year-old because she is not quite in kindergarten yet. She'll be going into kindergarten later this year. And with a newborn, it's a little bit getting used to, but we're getting out of the house, we're doing fun adventures, and we are having a great time. And my daughter is adjusting really, really well. That's kind of all that's been going on for us, other than things for this channel and getting used to this family change. Not much else is going on for us. But I would love to know if you want to see anything in particular from me, any specific vlogs or videos. I will be coming out with a Finish It February whip down type of vlog towards the end of the month. That's something I'm working on throughout this month, trying to go through my whips and really finish things off. So hopefully I have a lot of finished objects for my next podcast episode. But let me know also if you want to see any kind of make along from me, any specific type of video. I want to know if you have any book recommendations for our book club. I would love to get back to the book club after like a good maternity leave. So maybe for March or April, we'll start the Crochet and Knitting Bookshelf book club again over on Discord. So just let me know how you want to get involved in this community so I can work on building up this community, because I need community right now, and I hope that you can find community here too. I want this to be a safe and a healthy space for everyone to come to. The world has been a mess, especially the United States right now, and I just want all of you to know that I support human kindness and dignity, and that what ICE is doing is not okay for a lot of reasons. From an ethical standpoint, from a legality standpoint, from a compassion standpoint. So I just want everyone to know that all are safe here on my channel. So I hope that we all can find some community here. I think that's all there is to talk about. I wish I had some more interesting things to talk about in this life section, but with adjusting to a new family member and having some cold weather, there's not much to do. We're kind of getting the hang of things. I'm looking forward to the warmer weather and to getting outside more and to making some beautiful memories with our family of 4. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so grateful that you are here, and I hope to see you again in another video soon. Until next time, happy making. Bye!